people are so scared to do the smallest things. I mean,
Yeah.
people are scared to just start their business. So you should take advantage of that. You should know that you will be able to get further than other people because they're just scared to talk. They're just scared to make the move. Scared, So I think I was blessed with confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of introverted people in the world,
Yeah.
right? And it's more not just fear, it's more I'm an introvert, I don't like being out there. Any advice to introverted people who it's just who they are, it's their nature? Welcome back to Zap Talks, the pulse of South Africa's next generation. I'm your host, Bronwyn Rodriguez, and this is brought to you by Zap Hub, the most safe, verified, and trusted platform in South Africa. Now, I want you to forget about everything you know. Does age matter when it comes to wisdom? Our next guest, his name is Kenny. I'm sure you'll recognize him as he is a content creator on TikTok. He is 22 years old and he is from Joburg. Our guest today started hustling right out of high school and he now owns his own advertising agency. He is a purported motivational speaker and he literally is learning how to decode his own future. Welcome, Kenny.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, this is
Do you like our setup?
it's
Pretty,
amazing.
hey?
Yeah, I love the setup. Love the colors.
Right in my backyard with all my kids'
Yeah.
toys.
Amazing. Yeah.
So we're going to start right off the bat. You are someone, when you sent me your bio, you
Yeah.
said that you went from high school to being a CEO at 22 years old. What's the one skill that you use to get yourself there?
I would say approaching people, not being scared to approach people,
Confidence.
confidence.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. I mean, if you like 5'3" and you have confidence of a 6'7", whatever, you'll
So fake it until you make it.
fake it till you make not fake it, fake it till you feel it,
Fake it till you feel it. That is a
Yeah.
way better way to put that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like just approaching people, not being, people are so scared to do the smallest things. I mean,
Yeah.
people are scared to just start their business. So you should take advantage of that. You should know that you will be able to get further than other people because they're just scared to talk. They're just scared to make the move. Scared. So I think I was blessed with confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of introverted people in the world,
Yeah.
right? And it's more not just fear, it's more I'm an introvert, I don't like being out there. Any advice to introverted people who it's just who they are, it's their nature?
Okay. If you're introverted, I would say, oof,
Tough one, eh?
that's a tough. And they want to become entrepreneurs. Is that the reason?
Maybe. I mean, everyone really wants to be an
Yeah.
entrepreneur and be the boss of their own business. But there are some people in this world that just simply don't have that extroverted confidence that they need.
Yeah.
How do we get them out of their shells?
Start off online.
Yeah.
Start off sending emails. Start off calling people. Once I called Thibaut Touch 4 times and he told me to never call his phone again when I used to try and
You
make
stalker.
music. Yeah. Just get used to rejections.
Yeah.
And then till you don't feel the rejection anymore. So I would say go out there and fail. If you're an introvert, just fail.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a
Absolutely.
shot. Yeah.
Absolutely. So how do you encourage potential clients to look past your age and choose to work with you as a 22-year-old?
Honestly, I don't let them know my age. That's why I'm even here on this platform. I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah. I don't believe in age, honestly. There's even people that I'm working with, they in matric, they're in grade 11. Some people are just way older than me. My last client was in his 40s and we got along. He's actually a great friend of mine. So I just come as I am with my skills, with my confidence, and we start working. They never ask about my age.
Well, it's funny because when I started in real estate, I was 21 years old when I started in real estate. And I was the youngest real estate agent in the entire province or area where I lived. And I actually used my age to my advantage. So when I went to appointments, people, obviously I looked young. And then everyone always said, but you don't have the experience. And I said, however, I have the drive. And I want to be the 21-year-old that sells your house. You will never find a harder working person than me. So I'm going to use my age to take advantage of the ability to show you I'm young, I'm motivated, and I want to prove myself. So at 21, give me your $10 million house. Let me sell it so that I can prove to the world that 21 doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how sometimes people use their age, like hide it. But for me, it was the most powerful tool I ever had.
Wow.
I loved telling people how old I was. I loved being the youngest agent in the industry. And I would literally sometimes introduce myself as I'm the 21-year-old, you know, and immediately people would question my experience. But experience, when you have drive,
Yeah.
I don't know how much experience matters sometimes. You know, obviously experience is important.
Yeah.
But as long as you have the general skill, if you have the drive, it's so much more valuable because there's tons of people, I mean, in the property practitioner space that are older,
Yeah.
but they're tired. They're done with it. They made their millions and now they just want another income. Do you know what I mean? But that young person coming in the industry, they want to prove themselves.
Yeah.
So for me, it's almost the opposite. I would say use your age. Use your age.
No,
Absolutely.
thank you for that. I think I learned something. I think the thing with drive, when you're young as well, you naturally have the drive. You want to do everything. You want to try everything. You're ready to, you know.
You're invincible.
You're invincible.
That's the best thing about being young is you forget that you're going to age. So when you're young, you do all those stupid, crazy things.
Yeah.
I remember one of my colleagues, Vince, the stories he has from his childhood, I wonder how he's still alive. But we have no fear at that age.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because for young people, there's always a tomorrow. Yeah. So I always say, take advantage of your youth because 22, you could fail and it's not going to destroy your life. Mm-hmm. You've still got so much life left to live.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to say use your age.
I love that, yeah.
So you combine your marketing agency with your motivational speaking, because I've seen you on TikTok. You have a ton of little quotes that you put out there. How do you use your TikTok to help your business?
Honestly, I separate them both.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, because with my TikTok, growing my personal brand, I really want to motivate people, brighten people's days. That's my main thing.
Yeah.
You know? So I try my best to separate it because it also challenges me, you know. I love having different niches. I want to be able to be someone who can be in one space, real estate, and then one day I'm in the space of entertainment.
Chameleon. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I would love to be. Who do you know that is like multi? Who would you say is like multi? You know,
talented.
Talent, like he can be placed in different. Jay-Z, you know, someone like a Jay-Z, someone like a Diddy, unfortunately. That's how I see myself. I really want to be that type of guy, you know.
Yeah.
So
don't be a Diddy.
Yeah, not a Diddy.
He is definitely in all areas.
Yeah.
But no, I get what you're saying. You're basically saying, I mean, and this is who I've been my whole life. I used to say it was the South African blood in me, especially when I moved to Canada. I was such a hustler.
Yeah.
And I used to say it's all South African hustlers. Like it's just our fight or flight. Like we are thriving. I mean, not thriving. We survive in South Africa just by doing as much as we can. So South Africans are normally jack of all trades, you know. Almost every single South African I know has multiple businesses. Yeah. So I always find that South Africans are just hustlers in general. Okay, so with regards to your platform, are you ever concerned that your TikTok is going to harm your business?
My TikTok, I would say...
Do you get recognized yet?
Actually, at the gym, it happened.
Okay. Yes. Fun times when it happens for the first time. You're like, oh God, hide.
Yeah, like it was weird because they walked up to me and am I allowed to say?
Yes.
Yeah, they walked up to me and they're like, hold my and I was like, wow.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
No,
so
I don't know.
Are you ever worried that it's going to hurt your brand?
Not at all. Because you have me here. That's encouraging.
That's true. But I'm also a very unique, I say what I mean what I say. I always say, I thank God my son doesn't talk very well because he might be a swearing sailor, you know. Yeah. I just think people have to be authentic no matter what. And if that's who you are, I would rather meet you as who you are as opposed to a different version that you put out online.
I agree with that because, you know, what I noticed is that when I have doctors messaging me, telling me, I love your videos, and then I have someone who's working as an educator, you know, even one of my teachers messaged me like saying, no, you're crazy, but laughing. Yeah. So that encourages me because a lot of people are afraid to be human, and that's what creates the weirdos. If we're not getting who you are, You know, I'm gonna let you know that, hey, I love this, I love that. You know, just give someone who you are. You know, I just feel like I'm not worried about it hurting my brand. I am worried about it getting me jobs. I think that is a bit of an issue. But regarding my brand, no, I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, well, you want to be yourself, and
I want to
that's,
be
yeah,
myself. You
exactly.
know.
When it comes to your TikTok, I pulled out a couple things that you've said on your TikTok
Yeah,
so that we can get into more depth, because even though they're hilarious,
yeah.
there is a deeper message, and I know that there is. So, one in particular, you said, stick your nose in one hole and smell it, stick your nose in the other hole and smell it. That's how you should be choosing your friends. What is the deeper meaning behind that?
All right. So by nose, I probably meant finger. You know.
Thanks for
Yeah,
being so much more graphic.
yeah. I probably meant finger, and by that I mean stick your tongue or your nose or your finger in every place. You know, the reason why I say this is that try everything possible. You know, and sometimes you may figure out that it doesn't belong there. You know, and sometimes it works for other people. You know, but you know, you may try it, you may see that it's not working, sometimes it just doesn't fit, you may need lube, you know,
Yeah.
and you decide how you want to go about it. So personally, I'm just all for try everything. You know, try everything, figure out what you love, what you don't love, figure out, just try everything to just figure yourself out, you know. Yeah, that's
And
all.
when you meant it helps you pick your friends. So obviously, if you try it and you don't like the
Yeah,
environment, then it means that maybe that's not where your place is. If you're
exactly
feeling like
that.
you're forcing something, then maybe that's not where the place is.
That's not,
And
yeah,
then it gives you the reason to try the other
yeah,
hole. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah,
I like to say this in life, you do have to try everything. I'm one of those people that say yes to everything.
yeah,
Sadly, it's served me in some instances and served me bad in other instances. But I've also lived an incredible life. I've skydived. I've done some amazing things,
yeah,
and I can seriously look at my life now at 41 years old and know that there's not a single regret,
yeah,
not one. I've lost money, I've gained money, but it's because I'm willing to try every road.
yeah.
But with that said, and hopefully you agree with me, sometimes when you try it and it's not working, don't force it.
Don't force, yeah.
Pull back and say, okay, wait. That was okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm out.
I'm good. But be happy that you tried, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
that's where it builds confidence, right?
Yeah.
Let's move to one of your other quotes. This was apparently by Nelson Mandela. I've never heard it, so this was new to me. But he said, lick mine and I'll lick yours. Eat mine and now is the end. So, what is the deeper meaning behind that?
All right. So it's basically for everything when it comes to your business relationships, your regular relationships. You basically, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. You know, I feel like we need to both please each other, you know, because you can't be overplaying your part. You can't always be the person giving, always giving. You know, that's what causes, like, let's talk about the country. If we feel that we are paying the taxes, we're paying our electricity, and you know, and it's just becoming more expensive, it's becoming harder to
Roads
live
suck.
in.
There's no housing. Yeah.
That's what causes resentment. And basically, in a relationship, if you're not giving and she's always giving, one day she might end up cheating on you. You know, she might go somewhere else, and that makes the relationship worse. You know, so lick mine and I'll lick yours. People should pleasure each other. We should be fair. We should give,
Should
and
be mutually
it should
beneficial in
just, yeah,
absolutely every single relationship, from
everything. Yeah,
government to households to family.
yeah,
And then also, of course, I have a child that it will never be
yeah,
you just give and give and give and give, because that's their stage in life.
yeah,
And I think with the saying, we have to be careful, because sometimes you are in a relationship where you are required to give forever until they have the capacity to give back. You know, and I've been watching some statistics in South Africa and how, you know, mothers are causing harm to their children. And I think at that point, what we need to say is also lick mine and I'll lick yours. But we also need a whole bunch of people to lick as well. You know what I mean? So it can't just be you trying to be everything.
yeah,
And I discovered this with my son, which is one of the main reasons I moved back to South Africa, is I needed more help. I was giving too much and losing who I was. And I always say, as the mom or as the caregiver, you are the circle. And if you break, who keeps it together.
Mm.
So it's also, you know, all of these things matter, but at the same time, we also need to make sure that expect what that person has the capacity to give. And I find in relationships, a lot of people want that mutually beneficial, but they're not in a relationship where they're even kill.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I know in my relationships, I was always the breadwinner. So my partners got upset because they could never mutually benefit it. And then it became a disaster, right? So always try and meet people where they're at with the expectations as well.
Can I ask a question in regards to that? How is it like being a woman and being the breadwinner in a relationship?
Very difficult, actually. It caused me problems on almost every single one of my relationships because you emasculate the man without even wanting to. Especially in my last relationship, I made a lot more than he did. We owned properties together that I'd paid for. I renovated the house, so a lot more was on me. And it completely emasculated him constantly. And I even said to him, well, since I'm making all the money, why don't you stay home and take care of the child and I'll go to work? And that was not something that was negotiable, which was to me frustrating because financially, that's the smartest decision. But for some men, that's not their role. And what am I supposed to earn less to meet you, to save your ego?
But doesn't it also get to you? Like, don't you one day just lose attraction if you making more than a guy?
No, I see. Very specifically for me, what I find attractive is not someone's income or their looks. What I find attractive is how they treat you. So, I mean, I always say that God gifted me with the perfect child because I hate when people talk. I want to be around action. If you tell me you love me, but I don't feel it or I don't see it, it means nothing to me. So I'm not words. And there's love languages. So my love language is action. So for me, couldn't care less about people's money, couldn't care less about their looks. I just want to feel it. And so do I become less attracted? Absolutely not. I could date a plumber, a pool service, a garden. I couldn't care less as long as that person's a good person. But the other person, I find majority of the time had the issue where they felt less because of my success. And it goes to show when you said about, smell it, smell one hole, smell the other hole. You also have to realize that some people don't have that capacity to be okay with your success. It just happens. That actually brings me into our next saying where you said not everyone should get a taste. When you spend time making a meal and all they did was watch, that doesn't mean they deserve a seat at the table. So I love that one the most because honestly, that's how I feel my life is that when we talked about them feeling emasculated, sometimes they don't get to sit at the table. So what are your thoughts? Why exactly did you say that? And how do you apply boundaries in business to the saying?
I would say, regards to don't let anyone get a taste. I feel like firstly, they won't know the value of it. If someone wasn't there to, if someone just let you do the work, if someone just came in and now that's when they want something, you need to understand that no matter what, they're not going to value anything. You can try your best. That's why you can, if someone is carrying a bucket of water every day, they understand every job. You understand if you're paying electricity, you understand everything, So the reason why I say don't let anyone get a taste is because they don't know what it took for you to get there. And not everyone deserves it because if you don't work for it, if you took your time going through what you went through, same as the company that you're building, you going through all this shit. I can't even say like you're not going through it at the moment. So you go through the behind the scenes problems, everything, and then someone wants to just come in, take a share or buy the company. You can't let that happen. So it's just a matter of not everyone deserves a taste. That's all it is.
And how would you distinguish who gets a seat at the table?
Sometimes it's a case of getting to know the person, what they've gone through themselves, what it took for them. Are you guys meeting each other? It's exactly the same way as lick mine and I'll lick yours. And then it can also go with, were you there to at least help? You understand what I went through. You have sympathy for and empathy, whatever it is, for what I've gone through. You were there to provide the pots, you know. You even helped, you know, hey, can I wash the dishes?
Yeah.
Yes, they didn't do
Putting a little bit
just
of
a
effort
little
into
bit,
it.
you
Yeah.
know. People
Yeah.
deserve a chance, you know. So I feel like, again, just not everyone deserves a taste in general. When it, even just you as an individual, when you work on yourself, for you to get out of a low self-esteem, you know, version of yourself, not everyone deserves to be around you, because some people can bring you back to who you were just mentally alone, you know. So I just believe, if you worked on something, no matter how small it is, not everyone deserves a taste. If you realize that I worked on my mental health, not everyone deserves the new version of you. You know, you can even people who hurt you, you know, you can forgive them, but they don't deserve to be near you. You know,
Yeah.
so that's all it is. Not everyone deserves to get a taste. Yeah.
You know, and it's funny, you're 22 years old, I'm 41, and I'm still learning this lesson. I have been struggling with that part of my life my whole life. And I think it's the environment that I grew up in. Very quickly on, I realized money buys love.
Yeah.
And it became my core value, sadly. And when I didn't have money, people weren't as interested in me. You know, so it became a passion, an obsession. It just became so crazy. And ironically, the only reason I was able to pull myself out of it is my child, who needs so much from me that I couldn't be obsessed with earning all the money and getting people to love me because of that part of it. So it goes to show, and I let people at the table who never earned the spot. So it's a really, and this is why I pulled out these 3 sayings, because it's so, so close to what I've seen in my life. And at 41, still almost allowing people a seat at the table. So the last one I have for you, honestly, this one makes me giggle every single time I hear it. Are you going to swallow or put it on your chest? Now that you're hearing me say these things, is there a part of you at all that goes, damn, did I say that?
You know, today was the first time I heard so much of what I've said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first time. Sometimes my family would come by and then they'll just say it, and I'll be so embarrassed. But
You own it.
I own it. Yeah.
So that one in specifically, you said, what is the difference between swallowing your pride and spitting the pride? What do you mean by that? And anger.
And anger, and
Mostly
pride.
anger, yeah.
You know, the issue with me is that you know, pride, anger. I feel like, yeah, swallowing your pride, it's just a question. Genuinely, it's just a question, because sometimes, like, you really gotta put it at the back.
Pick your battles.
Yeah, you gotta pick your battles. Sometimes you gotta find, are you gonna swallow it? You know, but sometimes you can't swallow it. Sometimes you just gotta.
Sometimes it's very heavy on the chest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and sometimes it's just heavy on the chest. You know, so sometimes you gotta spit it out.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like my main thing is that I'm never trying to teach someone how to go about any sort of problem. That's why I always mention, oh, are you going to put it at the back? Because sometimes you have no choice but to put something at the back and just keep moving forward. You know, sometimes you have to swallow it. If you're able to swallow it, please swallow. You know, I think it's very important. If you can swallow your pride, if you can swallow your anger and really digest it, I feel like that is the best option, you know, because it's just never worth it, you know. But
I'm going to have to disagree with you. And the only reason I say that is because I think it all depends on how many times you had to swallow it. Maybe you're full of swallowing it. You know what I mean? Specifically in my journey here in South Africa, I feel like I've swallowed it so many damn times that now it's gotta, like, I'm done, you know?
Yeah.
So, and probably a good advice is to keep swallowing it. But you know, for me, what I find in South Africa is the lack of accountability.
Yeah.
It's almost like people want you to keep swallowing your pride and moving on. But it's it sucks. I don't want to keep doing that. I don't want it to be on my chest either. I just want you to take it back. You know what I mean? So, but unfortunately in this country, I find that sadly the best thing is to just swallow it and move on. Like my biggest regret so far in South Africa is going after the 2 million I lost when I developed this company. So I put in a lawsuit with the gentleman, and it's been a nightmare. 11 months, 12 months of hell, and mentally stressful. It just, and because the court case is so far, I can't even give it up. You know what I mean? But at that time, I really wanted him to take accountability. And now I'm looking back going, oh my God, why did I even get myself into this mess? So yeah, I guess you're right. Last thing I have to, on this topic, last thing I have to say is a lot of advice you give starts with cheeky sexual innuendos. Why do you start this to grab attention and use it to deliver your messages?
Because everyone, okay, I wouldn't say everyone has sex, but I feel like, I mean, that's a great question. People who have sex love sex and they think about it, you know. It's just easier to grab someone like that, because my main thing is to get the message through. You know, that's my main thing. I really care for people, because people have told me that I have helped. Actually, I do give advice to people. Then I try my best. But the main thing is to just grab someone's attention, you know, so that they can listen and they can get something out of it, you know. So I feel like that's something that almost everyone relates to.
It grabs the attention. I mean, obviously, a lot of the sayings you put out there, I'm like, whoa, okay, I get it. Yeah. So, no.
Yeah, you know, so I'll never just say something and it doesn't go into something. You know, there was something that I said where I was like, even getting spiritual with it. Someone was like, why are you talking? Like, someone messaged me, Christian page, and they're like, why would you talk about God in the same sentence? And it's like,
God created us.
Yeah, but why are you talking about God with sex? That's what, because basically what I said was, sometimes you will be doing it with a condom. You know, you'll go with a condom, and then maybe fourth round, you don't want to use a condom and you just continue. But the thing is, that can cause consequences. I mean, that can cause STDs, STIs, unwanted pregnancy, you know, and and I'm trying to preach, because I do believe in God. And I'm saying, even when things are going well, make sure you keep God in your life. And a Christian page messaged me saying, why would you say this? And it's like, but even after you get married, you're having sex, and it's the same exact thing. So I'm trying to tell people what they understand. You need to, and another thing is that you need to meet people where they are. I feel like coming out perfect makes it very hard for people. Many people struggle in, like I said, like now it seems like I'm against churches, yet I go to church like almost every Sunday. But a lot of people struggle to find help at church, because the minute you enter there, it feels so judgmental. So I love to come at people with something that they can relate with, something where I can meet them there. Nobody is perfect. And when did sex become a problem, you know? So I know you're not saying that sex is a problem, but I just feel like that's one of the best places to meet people. Yeah, that's the most human thing, most animalistic thing that we do as mammals, you know? So yeah, it shocks people, but one day it shouldn't shock people.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a attention grab, but also to get that message out there.
Yeah, you know,
Well, I like that you're unapologetic about it. So on your TikTok, you say that you're an award-winning speaker. What did you win? Tell me about it.
You know, I'm just manifesting. I actually want to win an award.
Yeah.
I feel like I deserve it.
Manifesting, I absolutely
I
love it.
genuinely feel like I deserve it. Like, I'm trying to win some sort of award, you know, and I also want to like surprise people, because when I started the TikTok, friends and family were looking at me crazy. And then as time went, when I made it on the Shade Room, they were like, oh, wow, you know. And actually, the head marketing lady of the Shade Room just loves the content and everything. So when I think I call myself an award-winning motivational speaker, because I feel like one day I will.
You won an award with yourself.
And that's I feel like I've won, yeah.
Participation award.
Exactly, yeah, you know.
Show up, and that's all you need to do. No, that's cool. No, I definitely want to ask about that, because I was going to ask what it means to you. So what does it mean to you to win an award for motivational speaking?
I can't say it means everything. That's a lie. Like everyone says it means everything. It would make me happy. Yeah, it would really make me happy. Already comments and DMs, messages, direct messages, they encourage me, So I think an award will just officialize everything that I do. Because remember you asked, don't you think it will hurt your brand? But imagine if I have an award and I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm okay. Yeah,
yeah.
doing well. If you were sitting with the government officials right now, what is one piece of advice you would give them?
I would say teaching more South African citizens more about technology, I feel like that is something that I feel like everyone needs access to. So making it more accessible, not just, your regular education. I think everyone, even as little as everyone should be able to fix a phone, break a computer, a laptop down, fix the motherboard, The reason why I say this is because those are things that are forever going to be in demand, and the way it's presented as something that's so difficult, something. When I did a course on, software engineering, cloud computing, I realized that there's nothing that nobody can't learn. You can learn anything if you just given the access, given the tools. Nothing is difficult, So I feel like if they can give the youth more access to technology, teaching us things that we will never lose, I think that will help us a lot. That's all I really feel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that they would need to. So, what is one piece of advice you would give the youth in South Africa?
As a youth, I would say give everything a try, you know. Give everything a try. Try your best to work on yourself as soon as possible. That's all I would say. Like give give everything a try as long as it's positive. That's whether it be, if you can learn as much, please learn. It's never a bad thing. Education is the best thing that you can ever get. Learning outside what education is giving you is the best thing that you can, just enhance your skills. One of the things that I learned is um, the struggles that I have been having is, even with maybe a degree or a certificate, it is quite difficult to get a job. So if you can learn skills that matter in this world, as much as, yes, AI is coming, taking over, that's what people say. I don't think it'll ever take over. It's something that can be a great tool for you to even learn more.
Yeah.
So what I learned in just my early 20s is I would get so mad when I don't get a position, but it's because I don't hold anything of value. I don't have a skill outside of that. So if there's a problem with unemployment, learn a skill, do freelance work. So yes, just never stop learning. Try everything that you can, whether it be beauty skills, makeup skills, handy skills, agriculture skills. Learn some skills. Just try everything that you
Yeah,
can.
absolutely. And you were talking about AI, but AI could be really good tool to help you educate yourself in these skills.
Exactly that. And funny enough, in regards to AI, I don't want to get too deep into it, but I was actually trying to build an AI automation system, and I was trying to sell it to someone. But by the way, on the call, it ended up not working. That was so embarrassing. Like, I
You
almost
tried it
had
though.
it. Yeah, but I almost had it, right?
Yeah.
And what that is I used AI to basically create a s- administration system, that replies to people, and these were all AI tools. I just paid about 300 Rand, and then also open AI. But it's very important to take your time and learn new skills. What's taking over? What's needed now? Where are we shifting to?
I always say find a problem, fix it,
Fix
and you
it.
have a job.
And you have it exactly that,
Yeah.
So, and you'd be so surprised on how much people actually need something.
When I developed Zap Habit, I remember thinking, I can't be the only one that needs this. I
Yeah.
can't be. So I, find a problem and fix it. And then we realized that a lot of people want it, So with regards to Zap Hub, you've seen our categories now. Is there a category you think that we're missing?
Wow, that's almost everything. Like I went through everything and it's like everything is there. I want to think of something right now. You guys already have pets, I saw.
We do have pets. We don't have Zap children. Sorry, I'm giving you answers.
Yeah. Yeah, let me think of something. You guys already have Zap Entertainment.
Well, we have something called Zap Fun, which is basically where people can put on concerts and ideas and events that are coming. But yeah.
What?
So we did good so far. Is that what I'm hearing?
I think I think so
But
far.
you have an idea. Why don't you tell me about the idea you have? Because I think it's brilliant.
I would say a 200 Rand store. I feel like there's certain clothes that people shouldn't be spending more than 200 Rand, So yeah, just a section where everything is 200 Rand lower, lifestyle products, clothes, just a place where people can budget, also have access to some of the events, because it's just going to be a whole thing whereby you're able to live a good lifestyle
on a budget.
But a very exclusive one. It's not going to be something whereby it's...
So would you be looking for people to sell on your website as well?
Okay. So people will be able to sell because of the traffic that's there. As long as someone is selling it, willing to sell under 200 Rand or within 200 Rand, then, I think that will be a great community. Sometimes you may get a super nice puffer jacket that someone decided to sell. Because of the traffic that Zap Hub would be getting, I think it will also feel more promising for someone to sell a product there, compared to you going to all these Shopifys. You have to do the ad and everything. There's already traffic here,
Yeah.
So yeah, to a 200 Rand community.
What do you guys think of that? If we had to introduce on Zap Hub, run, obviously by Kenny, a store where you can find everything you're looking for under 300 Rand, let's say that, because it's under 200 Rand, but in that budget. Would that be something you guys would be interested in? And if you are a service provider that sells products in that category in 200 Rand or under, would you be interested in a website like this? So we talked a lot about your TikTok and how you give motivational with sexual innuendo. I want to know more about your company.
Right.
What exactly do you do? You say content creation, advertising agency. So who is your company? What do you do? What do people need to know about that?
All right. So the company is C Block Agency. We do events. So we do our own events. We also do events for different companies.
Event hosting, planning.
Everything.
Everything.
Curation,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we also do content for people. So we have the equipment. It's basically a marketing agency.
Okay.
It's also something whereby we do manufacturing for people who need clothes, So we basically do everything that a company may need.
From the marketing perspective.
The marketing perspective.
Okay.
The thing with us, very in touch with the youth.
Okay.
If I go to Bram, I always know where to be. If I'm in Sandton, I know where to be. I know what the youth wants. And by youth, I just know from the ages of 18 to, I would say 31 is still like...
Not me, not 41. Okay, fine, that's fine. That's rude.
Yeah. But I just know what that market wants, But we've also tapped into new places, just like a rehabilitation center. Did I say it right? Rehab center.
Rehab, yeah.
Yeah. We've tapped into that, whereby we're just helping out when it comes to the adverts and the content, so we do everything, the marketing.
And do you have a website? Do you have a phone number? Like, how would people reach out to you here?
All right. So most cases, so far, most people reach out to us on social media.
Okay.
I think that's our strong point.
Okay.
We're not at that place where we wish to be at that place where a company can be like, hey, who did the adverts for this, That's where we're trying to go more corporate, But for now, it's always been social media. But you can reach out to us on our email. Where you'll find our email, I don't know.
We're going to put it on the podcast. So they're going to reach
Alright.
out to you. We're going to link everything they need to know about you, your company, how to follow you on TikTok, on all your other social media platforms. So
Yeah.
if you guys are looking for a marketing agency,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
of course, of course. I mean, we're going to give them a try with ZapHub and see how it works. And we'll give you a verified, vetted response on how they perform, which I'm sure is going to be absolutely great.
Yeah.
So now it's time for my favorite part, where we're going to play a game called Zap It Out. You have 60 seconds to answer as many of these questions as possible, one word, whatever you want. So we're going to start. We're ready?
All right.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Most overrated business advice?
Ooh, there's a lot. That's why. Never give up.
Okay.
Yeah. Give up sometimes. Yeah.
Biggest mindset block for South African youth?
It's not a mindset. I would just too much fun. Yeah.
Okay. Having too much fun?
Having too much fun. Yeah.
Okay. Why is cybersecurity so important?
Because it's where the world is heading.
Okay.
It's needed.
What is the best life advice you could give right now?
Once again, try everything. Stick it in every hole. Yeah.
There we go. So first of all, I want to thank you so much, Kenny, for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Where the topic went and your thoughts and your motivations in life.
Yeah.
And obviously, you can subscribe to our Zap Talks at any point. We're going to be having more guests like Kenny. We're going for every single service provider out there. We want to know who you think we should interview next. Any last words, Kenny?
Once again, try everything, and
We're going to end with smell it, each hole.
yeah.
Smell each hole.
Don't even stick it in each hole.
Stick it, smell it,
Yeah.
lick it,
Everything.
touch it.
Do everything.
Do everything you
We
want
love
to
it.
those holes.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us, Kenny.
Thank
It's
you
been
so
an absolute
much.
pleasure.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you guys on the next episode. We're going to be dropping 2 episodes a week, every Tuesday and Thursday. We can't wait for our next guest, which I forget who it is because it's been so many. But again, we'd love to hear who we should interview next. Have a great day, guys.
Hey, yeah, out, top up, yeah, boy, let's go. One hop, one place, now your business grow. Safe and verified, everybody knows. Top up, the spots where the right work flows.